hold on a second. Okay, we're recording now. So at any point in the demonstration, please stop me if you need me. Okay, so we've got a basic file here. Actually, let's start with a blank file because let's do first a little tour of Excel. So I'm just gonna open a new file. So to open a new file, I would go to File and then New. Double click on the blank template. And then let me share that one. Okay, so this is a clean Excel file, and I just want to show you some of the controls that we have. If you go up here, these are like the mini shortcuts that you can get to very quickly. Up here, if you see a little down arrow, if you click on that, you can customize it. It's called a quick access toolbar. You can customize this by adding some features that you might need to go to very quickly. I don't bother with this, but it's there if you need it. Right here, you will always have the name of the file that you're working on. And remember, to save a file, you would just go to File, Save As. You can browse to where you want to put the file. The default's always going to be your My Documents on your PC, and I'm just going to call this sample file, and I'm going to hit Save. I am very guilty of forgetting to save my work as I go, and then all of a sudden there will be a power outage, and I have been known to lose work because of that. And so I have to remind myself every once in a while to save. And a shortcut for saving is you hit the Control key and the S key, and that will save it very quickly. And so I have to remind myself every 10-15 minutes to keep saving it. All right, and then really quick, let me go back to the File menu. If I wanted to open up a new file, the new Excels have some handy dandy little shortcuts. These might be files that you've recently opened. If you needed to find a file, you could browse for it. This is also quickly, you can get to your OneDrive, which we have a training. Do we have a training on? No, we don't. But you can quickly, if those of you who are not from a charter school, I know that you have OneDrive accessible. So that's your little quickie open menu. So let's take a little tour. So right here are your tabs, and then this whole thing is called a ribbon. So in the home is probably where you're going to start always. In home, you've got some shortcut keys right here, the cut, copy, and paste. So if I were to type something and I wanted to, I can come here and hit copy, come down here and hit paste. And you could do that. I'm going to show you some shortcut keys a little later. I'll be honest with you, I very rarely use these buttons. I just use shortcut keys. Control-C, Control-V is copy and paste. Here is to control your font, how it looks. So if you wanted to maximize these set of tools, you click on this little corner arrow down here. And this is how you can change the look of the font of your workbook, how you could change the types of characters that are in your columns in your workbook, like whether they're general, number, text, the alignment, the font, how everything looks, the borders, meaning how you want the cells to look. You can even fill it with different colors, but then there's a shortcut right here. And then protection. This one I don't use too much, but if you were to share your file and you didn't want anyone to be able to edit it, you could protect it using this. Okay. Here we have the alignment of your text. So if I were to type something, and by the way, see how this is kind of hanging off into the next cell? It's because Excel kind of opens up with these predetermined formats. All you have to do is go in between the two columns and see how that little, I don't know what it's called, that little icon shows up, just double click and it automatically expands the column to whatever text is the longest amount of text in that column. And this just changes the alignment. If I wanted to left justify it, if I wanted to put it in the middle, here, let me make this a little bigger so you can see. So now that text is in the middle, and then this right justifies it. And then this just sort of puts the text anywhere you want it. If you happen to have a very big row, this can kind of see how it moves it. And then if I wanted something nice and pretty, I can do that. This is if, have you ever
wrap the text? I always have trouble with that.
Say that again?
How do you wrap the text?
Okay, I'll get into that in a second. This is if you wanted to, for some reason, have you ever had a worksheet where you had a lot of headings and they were very long? If you wanted to align it differently, see how you can make the text go different ways. But another way to do that is to go back here.
I didn't know that.
And go to, I have to think of an alignment. See this right here? This box right here, this is if I wanted to manually move the text around like that. So that way, have you ever seen those columns where, like I said, they're really, really long. So it'd be better to have the text going up at an angle so that you could fit the entire text. Mm-hmm. Or if you wanted it aligned vertically, you can do that right there. Let me make that a little bigger. But anyway, that's how people do that when they have something where your headings are really, really long. So to go back to normal, I just go to alignment and I hit the text right there and hit OK. And then I'm going to put this back. Okay, wrap text. So if I had a lot of text in here, I'm just going to type. All right, see how it keeps going on and on and on, and then I have some more stuff here and some more stuff here, and see how it just keeps running on into each other. Now, if I snap to fit means, remember how I double clicked here, and that would just work for this cell. But if I wanted to do everything, I could highlight all the columns or highlight the entire sheet, double click on anywhere that this symbol appears, and see how the columns adjust to fit everything in that column. But I didn't want to do that. And I kind of wanted it by wrapped, meaning it will indent and make more rows for me within that row. I can wrap the text. So I want to do it on these 3 columns. So what I would do is I would select the column that I want it wrapped, and I want it wrapped on all of these. Let me put some spaces here, then it'll make more sense. Like these are actual words. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, so I want these wrapped. I select them and then go to here, wrap text. And what it does, see how now, what it does is it inserts a break after it gets to the end of where I've made the column, and it continues on the next line. See that? So I want to make sure, so are you guys following along with me? I just want to make sure you're able to do that.
Yeah.
We have lots of time here.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I have been watching, not practicing.
So, you know, just type some words, and all you have to do is highlight that cell or highlight that column and then hit wrap text. Make sure you're in the home tab. And then what it'll do is it'll take a sentence and just break it up so that it's not all one string. Then there's something we have called merge and center. And let's say, for whatever reason, I was making a table, but I wanted one heading, but I still wanted 3 columns here. But on this particular row, I wanted sample data to be across all of this. I could hit merge and center, which what it does is, let me go back, merge and center, it makes whatever I've highlighted one cell or one block, and it centers whatever text is in there. So I would hit merge and center. You could do this if you wanted to make a title of a worksheet. Instead of using a header, you could do this. And then I can make this a little bigger. So a really quick thing to do with your font, see these two letters right here? This makes your font bigger. This makes your font smaller. You can still do it through this and just put in a bigger number. But I just find it quicker to do this. And that way I can see what I'm doing. But see what it does? Now, that text is merged. In other words, it merged these three columns just for this row right here. Be careful.
Now I can do that throughout any part of the Excel spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be just my header.
Exactly. You can do that
Okay.
anywhere. But guys, be careful. That works when you're making a simple table for a table's sake. And you know what I mean by
Correct.
that. If you're making a
Mhm.
table for something, if you're working with data, be careful when you merge and center, because then things like sorting and filtering, which is really what Excel's made for,
Right.
won't work correctly. But yes, Excel is excellent when, how many times has your principal or somebody asked you to make a quick sign-in sheet or make a table of this, or, you know, a lot of times that you have to put together stuff that are in tabular form. It's so easy to do it in Excel. So easy. Yes, you can do it in Word, but Excel's just so easy to do that. But like I said, just be careful. So this is more of a formatty thing for making something look good. So I'm going to, so all I have to do is click on merge and center and it puts it back to normal. So I'm going to put that, I'm going to get rid of this. And by the way, these are rows and these are columns. And these little boxes are cells, and every cell has an address. And the reason addresses are important is as you get a little better, you're going to start using formulas, and you're going to need addresses, a cell address for formula, because you need to reference cells. So for example, this cell right here that I have highlighted, the address is B7, or just look up here, B7. Okay. Any other questions on like font or alignment, anything like that? Okay, you can change the format of a cell right over here. Everything, the default is general, but sometimes you want to put in a number or make it a date. Let's make it a date. So let's put in a date. Let's put in today's date. Whoops. Let me go back to regular. So May 28th. Okay. Whoops. I don't know what's going on here. I've been playing around with it too long. Ugh. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right. If I don't like the way that date looks, I can come here and I can go to date and I can change the way the date looks. If I wanted to get into more options, I would come to I do a lot of my formatting through this tab right here, because as you can see, everything is right here. Instead, these are just the breakouts of this. So I just like coming here. So I could go and I want this to be date. And then this tells me, okay, what kind of date? Do you want it to be, have the day of the week and the month, day and year? You want it in that format, but that's just another way to do it. So let's say I wanted this. And it just puts the date.
Can you go back, Kathleen? Go back to where you formatted cells. Where was that you did that?
Okay,
Right there in the
so
corner?
anytime, yes. I like to use this ribbon, this part of the ribbon right here, because this has everything in it. It has the font, it has shading, it has bolding. So this bottom corner right here kind of expands it and brings everything to the party. So what I did is I went to the number, which is the same thing here, but this gives me more options. So I happen to be working with date, and look at all these options here I have for date, more than you could ever want. So this option puts in the day of the week. This option is just straightforward, you know, with the slashes. So you can change it there. All right. And then here from this, I can also, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Have you ever been typing here? Let me do this. Have you ever been typing a student ID? Let's do a 0012. Whoops. Oh God, I've got that stupid font there. Let me do it right here. 00123 4 5. Okay. Have you ever been doing this and, oh, you know what happened? Now the date is just showing here. So we're going to go back to, see how it's showing date there? I'm going to quickly go back to number. So 001234 5. All right. And if that ever happens, it means your number is showing 2 decimal places. So I can go here and correct it, or I can go back to my font tile, go to number, and I don't want any decimal places. I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but that's how you get rid of decimal places. All right, so I actually typed this with 2 zeros in front of it, but they've disappeared. Have you ever noticed with student IDs, when you have leading zeros, they tend to disappear? A way to fix that is go to back to your font tile, go to number, go to custom, and then right here, I want to tell it to put 7 placeholders because student IDs have 7 numbers in it. So I'm going to type 7 zeros. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to hit enter, and there we go. So that's a quickie way to fix your, you know, when you have leading zeros that disappear. So try that. I'm going to go to, I'm going to click on the column or click on the cell, go to my font menu, go to the number, go down to custom, and then right here under type, I'm going to type 7 zeros and I'm going to hit OK. That's a quickie little thing to do. It's helpful. And that way you don't lose your leading zeros, because that used to drive me crazy until someone showed me that. Okay. And then I'm not going to get into any of this stuff right now. To insert or delete a column or a row, if I wanted to delete a row, I select the entire row. You can either hit delete right here, or I'm big on right clicking. I right click on my mouse, and here, this gives me a bunch of shortcut menus. So I'm going to hit delete, and that would take out an entire row. If I wanted to delete a column, I would select the column. By the way, I'm selecting it by clicking on the letter of the column, and it selects everything. Again, right click, and I can either delete what's in there. It wouldn't delete the columns, it would just take out any text that's in there, or I could delete the entire column, and it does. I love right clicking, by the way. If you right click, as you can see, you can get to a lot of commands very quickly. You can cut, copy, and paste from right clicking. You can, as I did before, insert, delete columns. And then if you wanted to format a cell, you can do it from here too. I'm going to right click, format, and it very quickly brings up this, actually it brings up this menu right here very quickly. And then you can very quickly format the cells that you needed to format. Okay, any questions so far? You guys are quiet. I'm hoping it's because you're practicing. No questions? Are you guys able to practice? Yes?
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
see you. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
as you can see, there's a lot of stuff to do, and that's just one tab. Okay. So let's go into the insert tab. This might be a little too complicated for right now. How many of you saw the pivot tables lessons? Did any of you see that?
No,
Yes.
no.
Okay. As you get better and you feel more comfortable, move into pivot tables, it's very easy. I have a recording on it on the YouTube, but you would access it from here. If we have time, I'd like to do a quickie pivot table. We don't need to get into draw because, you know, I think for your rosters right now, you really don't need that. Okay, let's go to page layout. So page layout is where you're going to edit your margins. The default for Excel is a portrait landscape. So that is, you know, the 11.5, yeah, the 11.5 by 14, it's, you know, portrait. And here's the landscape. A lot of times your rosters, you might have to do landscape because you want more width with your rosters. This is just paper size, which, you know, that's the default. Your printing area, you're going to do through the print menu. And then I'm going to get to this in a minute when we have an actual roster, your print titles. Let me show you some little tricks. This is a handy little trick. I know probably what you do with your rosters is you probably select everything and then put grid lines from the home key. You could just put grid lines from right here. But this is a quick little trick I'm going to show you once we have a roster going. All right. Formulas, let's not get into that right now. This is your data menu. So when you sort and filter, you can do it from here. There's this, I call this a quickie sort, when you just want to quickly sort from one column. And this is when you have multi-layers of sorting, which when we have an actual roster, we're going to do some of that. And filtering is awesome. It temporarily hides things that you don't want to see so that you can quickly get a snapshot. Review, I don't think we need anything here right now. It automatically does, I believe it automatically does a spell check, but if it doesn't, you can access it from here. And then the view, this just controls how you're viewing it. The default is normal. The page break preview, let's not worry about that right now. Page layout, that just shows you what it looks like if you were to print it out. See how it looks like a piece of paper? And so we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so right now we've really discussed a lot of from a blank Excel. So any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, let's start playing. So I want you guys to open up that file that was in the Google Sheet. Let me get mine. All right. So I'm going to wait, make sure everybody's with me.
Is this the one with Ronald Gar?
Say it again?
This is the one with Ronald Gar, that sheet
Yes.
on the top?
Yes.
All right.
Everyone doing okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it says view only in my Google. Are we gonna be playing with this if it's view only?
It says view only? No, you should be able to download it.
Oh, wait a minute. What is this?
So hold on, let me go back to the Google Sheet.
It says request edit access. Let me see if I downloaded it. Let me see.
All right, so what you should be able to do.
I'm downloading right now.
All right, let me go to my downloads. Did I download it?
What you should be able to do is go to the Google Sheet,
Mhm.
click on the link,
I did.
and it'll open.
It did.
And then from here, you need to download it.
Wait, hold on.
Did you get something like this?
Yeah, I got that. And then I clicked on it because I had to open it in my Google. And then it opened up in my Google. I didn't download it. Okay.
When you say it opened up in your Google, you should be able to open it up on your computer.
I did. Let me see. File.
If not, I can email it to you real quick because, yeah, I want you to be able to play with it.
Yeah, no, Microsoft Excel. Yeah, I'm gonna download it right now.
Okay, Georgina, and you have it, right?
Yeah, I just can't see the Zoom now, so I'm on the one,
That
I'm on
happens to
one
me.
computer.
All right.
Okay, I got it. It's yeah, if you put her in there's a way that you can still see her, not see her screen, but I can see you guys and see my document at the same time.
Minimize it. You can minimize it or something, but I'm not sure.
They're
Not
like,
gallery view,
these are like blocks that you
speaker
can
view.
swing over to. Yeah, it's up.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you with the Zoom. That often happens to me, and when I'm presenting, I'm a little flustered and nervous, and I'm like, but I know there's a way to split the screen.
I can just go to speaker view.
Okay, yeah, speaker view will
Right,
bring it back
I'm
to
gonna-
us, and then it'll bring it back to the Zoom meeting. Okay.
Right, yeah, I'm still not there on that. I have you.
You have me?
I'm
Well,
not sure.
I'm not sharing anything yet, so let me share it.
That's because you have her on speaker view, so you'll only be able to see her. But if you click on the other, there's like a box of squares, and then there's
Right.
click on the two rectangular ones, and that should put us on the side
That's what I was trying to do.
of the document.
The one making the grid, exit full, I'm gonna exit full screen. All right, so I have you guys on the side.
Right, that's where I have you. So I'm able to see my document. I still can't see hers, but I have a Mac. What do you have?
I'm on a HP, the district. Yeah, when I open up the file, I lose her
Yeah,
for some reason.
on my Mac, I can still see her.
You guys can't see my file? I have the file
I
open.
can. I see you right now.
Me?
I can see your screen because I have a Mac, so I can flip between.
Oh, okay.
I can flip. I can go back and forth. It's okay. I'll just go back and forth. I don't wanna
Georgina, how
take
are you
everyone's time
doing?
on this.
You're able to see the screen, and then you're able to play with your file?
I'll just go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, I don't want anyone to get lost. All right,
I just don't want to, yeah.
Here we go. Boom.
okay. So this is Georgina, you okay?
I'm fine.
Perfect, thank you. Please, if you're not seeing, if you're lost or whatever, please guys, speak up. All right, so this is the big roster. I know that you guys are middle schools and this is a high school. It just happened to be the file that we're working with, but you know, it's applicable to any grade level. So let's do some things first. So since you guys are middle school, you're going to be doing EOCs. So whenever I go to File Download Manager, I always choose everything first, because then I can always whittle it down. I'd rather have too much and delete it than have forgotten something and have to go back and make a brand new sheet.
Right.
So I always used to download course information, and when you download course information, it means every student is going to be repeated the amount of times, or for one specific row or one unique row per course that they're in. But for EOCs, that's really helpful. It was also really helpful for me when I was trying to see where everybody was in the building at a specific time. So I want to show you some things. So I would always keep the first sheet of all of the data, and I would never manipulate this sheet. So what I would do is I would copy it onto a new sheet. So let's copy all of this onto a new sheet. There's lots of ways to do that. You can select everything and then open up a new sheet and paste it. You can, if you notice on this little tab right here, if you right click on it, you can see this option to move or copy. I can click on that.
I know how to do that.
Okie doke. And then what I want, and don't forget to select this little box right here because you want to create a copy. And I'm going to hit OK. And it creates a copy exactly the same as the first tab. So now I'm going to be in the second tab. And to rename this, you can do one of two things. You can double click. I just used to double click on it and then just type over this text, or again, right click and rename. And we're going to call this, we're just going to say working file. Whoops. Okay, so that's the working file that we're working on right now. And so remember, the first tab was everything.
Right.
And then I copied it into this tab. You want to practice copying? I also learned a new trick. I've never seen this before. Just try it. This is another thing you can do. Go back to your original tab and then left click on it. When you left click on it, do you see how that little paper form? See the icon with the little paper?
Yeah. Oh.
Move it to wherever you want it. I'm going to move it past the working file, and I'm going to hit the control key and then let go. And it makes a copy. Isn't that cool?
Oh, wait, I want to try
Do
that.
that.
Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Do it again.
Okay. So left click on your mouse until that little piece of paper, see this little piece of paper?
Uh-huh.
Now drag it to where you want it. I'm going to put it past the working file, and then hit your control key, your control button, and then let go of everything. Try it.
Oh, I did. Oh, wait.
We can do it
Oh,
again.
that's cool. Got it.
One more time. And by the way, when you want to delete a sheet, like I said, I'm big on right clicking. I right click and I just delete it.
It didn't do it for mine.
Okay, one more time. We're going to left click. So when you left click it, you still see that piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay, drag it to where you want it.
Uh-huh.
Now, don't let go of the left mouse button. Hit the control key. So you're holding the left mouse key and the control key at the same time, right? Now let go of both of them.
Okay, then let me try it.
Are you left clicking on the actual data sheet itself, not a cell, right? You're clicking on the bottom?
Yes, I'm clicking on the
Yes.
tab right
Okay.
here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Let me try.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's just this. It's just the technology.
Oh.
Mhm.
Did it?
No. Wait, you know what? I want to do the copy. I
Okay.
need to right click. Wait, right click on that copy.
Right. This is easier because you know what? Sometimes I know Apples or Macs have weird mouses, don't they? They don't always right click or left click. That might be an issue.
It does.
Anne, were you able to do it?
No, because I have a little laptop, but it's not going to work.
Okay. Well, it's something to keep in your arsenal when you have a mouse. But
Wait,
anyway,
hold
Yeah, right.
the thing that always works is the right click and then go to move or copy. Make sure you have create a copy selected, and then you can move it wherever you want. I'm going to move it to the end, and there's my copy.
Can you do me a favor? Okay, can you do me a favor? Can
Sure.
you show me how to copy that student data into another sheet?
Sure. Okay, so like we said, that was one way to do it. Another way is copy the entire sheet into a new sheet. To
Right.
make a new sheet, see this plus button down here?
Yes.
Click on that. So
Yes.
it'll automatically just do sheet and then a number. So
Right.
this is a new sheet right here. It's our blank sheet. We are
Right.
going to select everything. A quick way to select everything, you can either hit the corner right here and that selects everything.
That's the way I
Another-
normally do it.
Another way to do it is to try Control A. Control and then the letter A. That also selects everything.
Okay, I'm used to. I can do that.
The thing I like about Control A is it just selects the workbook. It doesn't select every single empty row in the workbook. If you have extra rows on the bottom or extra columns on the side, it just snaps to the worksheet. But this always works. Hitting this
Okay.
selects everything. Now we want to copy it. You can either right click and hit copy,
Right.
or you can use what's called shortcut keys and hit Control C. Either one will work. So right click, copy. You can do the copy up here, or you can hit Control C. Either one of those will work. You know you're copying. See these dotted lines? They call them dancing ants. They look like little ants marching.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That means you've selected that stuff, and we're getting ready to copy it. So now we're going to bring it over to wherever we're going to copy it, I'm going to open up that new worksheet I created. Click one cell, click the top left-hand corner, because it will start copying wherever you've clicked that cell. If I click it down here, it's going to start copying the worksheet over here and leave all this blank. So I'm going to click over here. Now, two things I can do, or three things. I can hit the paste button here. I can hit Control V as in Victor, or I can right click and then I can paste. These give me paste options. I always go to paste values. Paste values just gives me the contents in the cell without the formatting. So I'm gonna hit paste with the 1, 2, 3. And there we go. That's everything. So one more time.
Now, I can do that with no problem, but down at the bottom where you copy the student data and then you open up another sheet and called it working file, you move that information over to the working file differently.
Yes, it's two ways to do it. So this one was literally copying here, selecting everything, copying, opening up a new worksheet and pasting it here. But what I did here was I just right clicked on this tab. I hit move or copy. I selected the copy and then I moved it where I wanted it.
Right click.
You don't have to select anything here. What it does is it just grabs that entire worksheet and creates a copy of it and puts it wherever you want it.
Okay, and that's my problem. It won't let me do it on this Mac. I knew
Okay.
Okay.
Then, you know, do the select all and copy. So let me get rid of this. And then again, to rename a worksheet, this is a copy of this worksheet right here. To rename it, I can right click it and do rename and then type whatever I want in there.
I hate to ask you, can you do that one more time? I was in the middle of a school email text. The Control C, the Control C.
Yeah, let me get rid of this.
Please.
Okay.
Sorry.
So no. This is fine, please. All right. So I'm going to copy this work. So there, we've discussed two ways to copy a worksheet. Like I said, you can go to the tab and do that, or select everything. Now there's different ways to select everything. You can do Control A. You can click this little triangle up here. It selects everything. And then I have everything selected, but I need to now copy everything. So I can either hit the copy button here or do Control C for copy. Now I'm going to open up a new tab. I hit the plus key. Now I have a blank tab. I'm going to put my cursor where I want the information copied, or at least where I want the first cell copied. Like I said, if I put it down here, it's going to make it's going to copy everything over here. So, and then Control V to paste. So Control C copies, Control V paste, or if I don't want to use Control V, again, I love my shortcut keys. I right click and then I just go to paste. I always use this paste option. And see how it shows me the Control V right there? Values for V. So that's another way. And then rename it. Whatever you want to rename it.
I got it. Here we go.
Okay, so that was how to copy a sheet. I'm going to get rid of this.
All right, I did it.
All right, so you should have your main sheet and then a copied file that we renamed working file.
Got it.
All right, so I like to do a couple different things and have a couple different versions of the data going. So here's absolutely everything. This is the file that I'm going to work with. Let me show you something really quick. Oh, and by the way, let's say some of my columns came over and they were squished. Have you ever seen that where you notice an Excel file has the tic-tac-toe signs and this is all squishy and I don't like the way it looks? I can select everything. Remember, you can select everything by this top left-hand triangle. And I'm going to do something called snap to fit, which is I go hover between my columns. It doesn't matter where I do it. And I double click. And what it does is it quickly snaps everything to the width of the largest amount of characters in the column. And then here, let's say you probably wouldn't do this, but this is another way you could use wrapping text. Let's say let's say that this was just making my worksheet way too wide, and I wanted to bring this a little more narrow so that I could see everything on one screen.
Wrap it.
But exactly, I'm going to end up wrapping this text. If I forget to choose my column and I only do one cell, it's only going to wrap that cell. So I'm going to choose my entire column, and I'm going to hit, remember, you access this from the home key, and I'm going to hit wrap text. And now this is, you could do this. This is probably better if you're doing like a table. Because as you can see, it makes some columns thicker than others. It looks kind of weird, but you can do that if you want. I'm just going to put it back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap this column like that. Okay, let me show you how to, okay, I'm going to show you two things. So I have this sheet where every student is repeated 5 or 6 or 7 times. But let's say I want a version of this where every student is only listed once. You can do that a couple different ways. By the way, let me show you some really quick things. Let's go through some sorting, okay? Let's sort everybody by alpha. So let's go to data. And then from here, we can go to the sort field. And you can sort, I call this a quickie sort. This right here, if you're only sorting by one criteria, in this case, let's just sort by student name. And in this case, we happen to have the student by last name and first name. So if I'm only sorting by one criteria, I would just go to this button, and it says sort A to Z, lowest to highest. I'm going to click on that and see how it very quickly sorts everything in alphabetical order. And then I can do the reverse. I can click on the Z to A. It doesn't matter where you are in that. You just have to be in the column that you're sorting. It doesn't matter where. So I can do that again. If I wanted to sort by grade, I'm going to move over to the grade column. So guys, practice that. I want to move over to the grade column. And now I'm going to sort by grade. So again, a quickie sort is only sorting by one criteria. So there we go. Now I've sorted by grade 9 through 12. If I wanted it the other way, here's 12 through 9. And again, it doesn't matter where I am. Okay. If I needed multi-level sorting, meaning I want first the student, then their grade level, I can do that by multi-layering. And that's why I would use this button instead of this button. So by this button, I can sort by a few criteria. When you do this, always make sure this little box right here is checked. If I don't, it's going to think the headers are part of the sorting, and it's going to sort the headers too. So if that ever happened to you and you did a sort and you lost your headers and they ended up being sorted, go into this and make sure this box is checked. So how am I going to sort? Let's say I'm going to sort first by grade level. So I want my students sorted by grade level. Then I'm going to add a level, and then I want them sorted by their name. And so what this will do is first it'll give me my 9th graders and then sort them alpha. Then it'll give me my 10th graders and then sort them alpha, and so on and so forth. So that's another way to multi-layer sort. So try that. What I did is I hit the sort button.
Wait, hold on.
First I sorted it by grade, and then I sorted it by name.
Oh.
And then I hit OK. Make sure this box is checked. Another thing we can do is let's sort by period and then grade. So I'm going to go back to my sort button, and this time instead of grade, let's sort by let's sort by name first. So if I want the student's name to be sorted first, so what I want to do is every student alpha order and then sorted by period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that I have every student's schedule in front of me. So I can either select name from here, or I can move this up. See these right here? I can move this level up. So now it's going to sort by student name. And then I want it sorted by period. Where's period? There it is.
Oh, this is awesome.
And then I'm gonna hit okay. Okay, now look what happens. Every kid first is sorted by alphabetical order, and then, here, I wanna highlight this so you can see it. And every kid's schedule, first, it's in chronological order, numerical order, however you wanna call it.
Does it
First
matter what if I forgot to sort by, I didn't put it in alpha? Can I go back and once I sorted by grade?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can keep sorting this as many times or do as many sorts as you want. So let's say you had forgotten alpha, you can change that. Let's say instead of period, I want to go back to grade. So I could do that.
Okay. And then, okay, so let me go back here.
So does everybody understand the difference? So these are two different ways to sort. This is only if you're sorting by one criteria, and it's a really quick sort. If I wanted really quickly, okay, let me sort the entire school by grade level, I can do it that way. You can still do it this way. You would just sort it by one value. It's still the same thing. This is just like a shortcut to it, right up here. And then if I wanted more than one criteria, we could do name and we could do grade.
I wanted it in alpha. Okay.
Okay, right now I want everyone to sort by name and sort by grade. And I'm going to explain why in a minute.
I did. I sorted by name, I sorted by grade, and then I did period too. This is really, because my struggle has always been, I would just sort by grade, extract my grade level, put that in a sheet, extract my 7th grade, put that in a sheet, extract my 8th and put that in a sheet. And
Okay,
then,
well, you need to learn, well, I'm going to show you how to filter because it'll be a lot easier to filter. All right, so everybody have sorting down.
Mhm.
So right now, everyone right now, just real quick, sort it by name and period. And then I want to show you filtering really quickly. Filtering is so helpful, just like what Denise said, if you wanted to extract quickly. Instead of sorting, use a filter. Let me show you why. Let's say I just wanted to make a sheet with just one grade level. All right, so I would put my cursor in any one of these headers, any one of them, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're in the data tab and click on this funnel.
Yeah.
Okay, then what a filter does is it will show you certain criteria you want to see and temporarily hide everything else. So
Right.
if I just wanted to see 9th graders, by the way, if you click on any of these down arrows, it's going to show you whatever is in that column. If I wanted to select certain course, I could do that here as well. So I'm going to select my 9th graders. So I'm going to, excuse me, click on my grade column. My grade column has 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th values in it. I just want to see 9th grade. So I'm going to deselect everything and click on 9 and hit OK. These are just my 9th graders.
Right.
I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to open up a new sheet, hit Control V. Whoops. All right, hold on. I forgot to hit Control C. So these are my 9th graders. And I'm going to copy it into this tab right here. And that quickly gives me a tab with just 9th grade. I can do that as many times as I want. I can also, if I wanted to, do 2, 3, 4, 5, as many filters as I want. If I want my 9th graders who are ESE. So I have 9th grade selected here, right? And now I want to grab all of my ESE kids that are 9th grade. I'm going to, remember, anyone who's not ESC would not have an exceptionality code, correct? Technically. I know a lot of your gifted are technically not ESC, but for today, we're just going to include them. So
Okay.
I'm going to deselect my blanks because I'm asking it, show me only the cells or the rows that have an exceptionality code in them. And I'm going to hit OK. And now, and by the way, oh, you know what? We forgot to remove, or I forgot to remove duplicates. But anyway, this shows me all the 9th grade with exceptionality codes. And I could Control A, select everything, Control C, copy, and make a new sheet, Control V. So,
Okay, I forgot, how do you expand those columns again?
Right.
Because now they're all tight.
where are we here?
On there, yes. On the other one.
To expand the columns, just
Right.
hover in between. You can either select everything, hover
Okay.
in between, and double click.
Ah, okay, I forgot.
Or
Thank
you can
you.
do it manually. If you forgot how to do that, literally any column you can make bigger or smaller.
Right, that
by
I
doing
know,
that.
but that takes forever.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a quick way to do it.
Okay.
All right, let's do something called removing duplicates. So anyway, I have this filter on. I'm going to clear it. So remember, I forgot, this worksheet is showing me,
Multiple students.
yeah, it's showing me every student repeated 7 times for the 7 periods that they have. I want to show you how to remove duplicates. All right, before I do that, I'm going to sort it. You don't have to, but I'll tell you why I do it this way. I came from a high school and our homeroom was always first period. And I
Right.
know that I forgot to download the homeroom field and file download manager. That was my bad, but I could have very easily filtered everyone by homeroom and copied them into another sheet. But let's say that you have a sheet like this, you want to clean it up. I'm going to sort it first by student name and then by period, only because I want everyone listed alphabetically and I want their periods to be listed chronologically, only because I want their first instance to be first period. And we're going to do something that's called remove duplicates. I'm going to take off my filter. By the way, just to turn on and off the filter, I literally just click this button. All right. I'm going to now do something that's called remove duplicates. Actually, you know what? Let me copy this into another tab, because I want to leave this file pristine. So I made a new tab and we're going to name this unduplicated. What that means is every student in this file is going to be listed once. All right, so this is my new file. I'm in the data tab. I go to remove duplicates. I make sure this is selected right here. My data has headers because I want it to make sure that nothing happens to my headers. These are all of the fields or all of the columns I have in this worksheet. I want to remove duplicates, and what it's going to ask me is, okay, well, what do you want me to search for that's duplicated? Think about what criteria does every student have that's unique? Their ID, right? Not their name, because a lot of students have the same name. But I want Excel to go through, and it could either be student ID or FLE ID. I always use student ID. I want Excel to go through and remove all the duplicated student IDs and leave just one. The one it's going to leave is the very first occurrence, and that happens to be period 1 because I sorted it by period. So I'm going to unselect everything. I want it to look through student ID and remove all the duplicates of student ID and only leave one row of student IDs. I'm going to hit OK. Look at this. It's removed 5730 duplicate values and left 649 unique. So now I have a list of unduplicated students, meaning every student is listed here once and by first period. If you want, practice that. That's a good one to have. I could have very easily done a filter and gone to my working file and just very quickly, let's have everybody by first period, copied it and moved it into another sheet. But let's pretend there was a mistake and for some reason, one student has 2 first periods. It would carry them both over. So I liked being able to do that really quickly in order to remove duplicates.
So I'm gonna go to
So go to,
data, and then from data, I click on remove duplicates,
mhm.
and then, okay,
Think,
my list has-
which criteria do you want it to remove the duplicates by? You always want to use student ID, either student ID or FLE ID.
okay,
so-
student ID for me, that's column A.
Okay, make sure
Oh, but I did not do the,
if you
my
don't have,
periods. I didn't do that.
that's okay. And by the way, if you forget to select my data has headers, you'll get this, which you can still do, but it's so much easier if you tell it my data has headers, because then you can easily see what your headers are.
Okay. How did you put it into each student listing all of their periods?
Okay, so you want to make sure it's sorted by student name
Got the name?
and the period.
Okay, all right, so let me go back.
And you don't have to do that. It's just a way of capturing everyone's first period. And that's the way I used to do it, because first period was homeroom. But you don't, if you forget that part, it doesn't matter.
All right,
You can always grab their first period. Okay, so once you've got it sorted correctly, you make sure you're in the data tab. You go to remove duplicates. Make sure this is checked. My data has headers. Unselect everything and just make sure student ID is selected. And then you're gonna hit okay.
yay, 5,730 duplicate values, 649.
There
Yeah,
you go. You did it.
perfect.
And Georgina, were you able to do that? Okay.
I'm with you, but I'm working on a school thing. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It happens.
Another,
All right.
another hat. Sorry.
Yes, I know.
Now, I will ask you this question. Sometimes you see here on the side where all of the students are listed numerically.
¿Lo puedo pagar ahora con una tarjeta?
Here, Georgina, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No,
Georgie.
ahora por teléfono, para que él no pierda tiempo cuando recoja la comida.
Okay, hold on.
Ok, es a nombre de Orlando Rodríguez. Él estará ahí como a las 12:30.
Here, I'm trying to
Okay,
look how to
gracias,
mute
bye.
everyone.
You can just mute her. If you look under participant.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Thanks.
So listed on the side, what will often happen to me is I will do my copy and paste, and it won't number, and I'll paste it in another sheet, and somehow the numbers will get mixed up, jumbled up. You'll see hidden spaces in between the numbers. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know what I'm doing. But.
I'm trying to, wait, say it again. I don't understand the hidden spaces in between the numbers.
Like if I look at number 1 on your screen now, up underneath that is another little line where I removed something, and it's not showing it, but there's like a double line there, and it's not numbered properly. So sometimes when I go to copy it into another sheet, it's just not numbered right. I don't know what I'm doing.
Does it look like this, where something like this happens?
Yes.
You have a filter on. It means your filter is on. So you need to, if you don't want it filtered and you want to copy and paste, make sure your filter is turned off.
Copy and paste.
I'm assuming the reason you wanted it copy and paste is you wanted a specific criteria, right? So it was something that you were filtering.
So I would work from like the main document, and I would extract my information from that main document. So I would have like all the student data.
Yeah.
And from the student data, I would make my sheets 6th, 7th, and 8th, and I would just pull out. Once I pull them out, that's when I would do my filtering in my new sheets.
Okay. But you're saying when you brought it over to your new sheet, it still looked weird?
No, in the new sheet, it was fine. In the sheet I was extracting it from, it showed up just like you showed.
Okay, yeah, what you, remember, after you do a filter, unfilter it. You can either do two things. You can, like, let's say right here, I wanted all of my 9th graders
That's what I would do.
and I wanted period 2,
That's what I would do. Period 4. Okay.
whatever. I would copy this. Then when I came back to this sheet, I just need to make sure you can unfilter it or you can hit clear. Clear just releases the filter and then keeps the little filter. I love filtering. Filtering is awesome. It's really helpful.
Me too. I really, really like it. I just get scared that I might be missing something. So one thing that you just said that I've learned is that I need to copy everything from File Download Manager. Just take it all, because I have had countless times where I have forgotten the fleet ID, I've forgotten the student ID, and it has been treacherous. So, okay, I got it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you guys know this, we are going to do a File Download Manager Zoom session as well. It allows you to do something called a favorite. You can, like, so once you have a template of a download that you like, you can save it so that you're not endlessly constantly trying to select all the different fields and such.
And that's what I need, because I've never figured out how to save or put anything into my favorites, because you basically work from the same format.
Yeah, you do.
But remember, there's a test chair. There's a test chair and that's already saved. There's one there for access. So I tend, when I'm looking for a list, unless it's very specific, I tend to go with that list. That one that's already there, it says test chairs. So one is already done for you by homeroom, by students, are listed once. So that can be really easy when you're assigning books and everything to students using that one.
I need, oh my God, I need the lesson. Thank you.
Yeah, hold on, let me.
But it may not be enough if you're looking for the ESE or the ones who are in access testing. So sometimes you have to go back to download to get all the specifics.
Yeah, I specifically will look for ESE and ELLs. Oh.
Here, these are the ones down here. This is a test chair button. And please make sure you sign up for the File Download Manager one, because a lot of people are very confused or scared off by file. What they did was, I don't know how long you guys have been test chairs. I know, Denise, this was your first year. There used to be a different version of File Download Manager that was much simpler, but this has everything.
So you just went to File Download Manager and you clicked on what?
Okay, so this is File Download Manager, and I clicked on favorites. And these are saved favorites. This is called the test chair one. It has all of these fields in it.
Wow.
But for an elementary school, you don't need all of this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it might be easier for you to create one and then you save it in my favorites. I have favorites here, and this is the criteria that I always use for this set of, here, let me pull up a better one. I also do FSAA. So this,
I don't have any FSAA yet.
well, this just tells me I can do a quick scan of the district, because remember, I'm district, so I can do a very quick scan of the district of all of my alternate assessment students and all of the things that I require there. And I don't have to go through each time and select it. And
that's what I'm doing.
When you select it, there's so many things to select. But anyway, you know, I'm getting off track, but this is a really good lesson if you're able to sit in on this one.
Well, I definitely will. This is awesome. Now, and then I'll figure out how to save my stuff in File Download Manager. But thank you for that. That was
Sure. Okay. Let's see. What else can I show you real quick? Oh, if you wanted to, I think we already went over filtering. Filtering is good when you want to quickly see students that have exceptionality. So let me go to my unduplicated. And let's say I wanted to quickly see my exceptionality students. So I'm in the one where every student is only listed once. I'm going to apply a filter. I'm going to deselect the blanks because I want to see how many students have an exceptionality code. I'm going to hit OK. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this. On the bottom left-hand corner, if you just want a number, it tells you I have 176 out of 649 students that are selected. So that's a neat little tip in Excel. One more time. You're in whichever column that you want to filter. Hit the down arrow. I just want to see my exceptionalities. So I unclick the blanks. I hit OK. And this number down here tells me I have 176 out of 649. And let's say I just wanted to see a particular grade level. I still have my exceptionalities selected. And let's say I just wanted to see 9th grade. I hit 9. And I have 53 9th graders who have an exceptionality. I can go through. Now this is 10th grade. I have 57. And then, you get the idea. And then if I want everything back, I just hit clear.
Clear.
Another thing to do, since you guys are in middle school, and I love this, is let's say we're doing an Algebra 1 EOC, and I wanted to select my students. Go to make sure your filter is selected, so make sure you're in the Data tab. I'm gonna select the funnel, and then the course title field. I'm going to click that, and I want my algebra, okay, look at how many classes we have here. Instead of going here and hunting for Algebra 1, do this. This is a little trick. When I'm in a filter, see this space right here? This is a search bar. I know that Algebra 1, every course, whether it's honors or gifted or whatever, you know how many variations there are in Algebra 1. I can click on ALG and look there. This gives me every single.
Kathleen, I have to
go. Go. Bye, Ann. Thank you so much.
I gotta take care of a couple of cool things. Is it gonna be on the YouTube?
Yeah, I'm gonna record it. Yeah, we're almost done here.
Yeah, how do we search the YouTube?
We have the link for the YouTube available. I'll send it to you again, but you just click on the YouTube channel and all the videos are there. But this will be called,
because I really want to put.
This will be called Basic Excel for, whatever the title of this meeting was, and it'll say with Kathy Sierra. Okay?
Perfect, because I want to put that on the iPad and then practice it. I'm still failing at the Control-C and Control-V.
And by the way, on Fridays I have office hours. So office hours would be, you guys could join me and then, we could go through this again.
Perfect. Maybe
okay.
Maybe I can. All right. Thank you. All right.
Sure.
Thanks so much.
Ann. Sure.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. So I'm
Thank you. I'm going to be going to, I've got the end of the year award that I got to show up at school.
Okay. Go ahead. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Georgina.
Thank you. You've been great.
Oh, thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye.
So Denise, real quick, if I want to see just my algebra, I typed in ALG. This gives me every course that has ALG in it. I know that I just want my Algebra 1. I hit OK, and there's all my Algebra 1.
Ooh, that's what I need to. Okay. This is amazing because I do have students that take algebra and biology. So
here, let's do biology real quick. So let's do BIO. Okay, I want biology. These are all my students that take biology. See how quick that is? Instead of hunting your list for biology, you can just type it in here.
Okay, this is gonna really, really be helpful. And this is all extracted from File Download Manager, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, we've gone over. So I'm gonna end it here, but Denise, make sure if practice, I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'll let you guys know. And because I have to edit it a little bit. And so it'll probably be posted by tomorrow. Okay. And then on Friday, if you need some one-on-one help or whatever, just join me. My office hours are from 10 to 12 and then from 1 to 3. You can just join me. Just go to that Google document. The link is on the office hours tab.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. And then have they posted the sessions for the file download manager?
Yeah, go to, let me find the Google Sheets.
I have the Google, is it on the Google Sheet that you sent us?
Yes, just scroll down. And the links are all there.
Hold on, Jesus, where is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I gotta
here,
find mine. Where's mine? I'm looking for it.
I printed, I see index match, Google Calendar, testing calendar, where is it? File download manager, I got it. It's June 8th through, I'm sorry, yeah, June 8th through June 11th.
Right. If you don't mind, sign up for it so that at least we know which set, because we like to know how many people to expect. If you don't remember to sign up, don't worry about it. But if you can, sign up for it. And then check back. We're going to have a document for you to download. We just don't have them posted yet. And then, you know, you can come to 10, 11, or 1, whichever one suits your schedule.
I'm so happy now. I feel so much better. I will tell you, one of the things that I did learn during this process is how to get organized. I'm OCD a little bit. So now I know exactly what I need in order to keep from feeling overwhelmed, because all of the documents that we got at the beginning of the year, it was helpful, but none of them made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was time for me to actually, prepare for testing. So then things started making sense. I'm like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, this is what that means. So now I'm a little bit more comfortable, if they should select me for next year. But I think you all really prepared us well. I will tell
good.
you.
And Maria, are you there? I know Maria.
Yes, I am.
Maria Bruguera is the person in charge of FSA, and as a former test chair, she's amazing. She's so nice. You can ask her anything, and she really has kind of set the tone for making sure everybody knows that whatever it is, you can call the district. We will help you. We will answer our emails. We will answer our phone calls. So she's been amazing.
And you did, and it was really, it was so helpful. It was really, really helpful, because even though I may not have caught something at the time I was at a meeting, when I got back to the school, I always had my reference sheet to follow that you all gave.
And you had a PowerPoint with 200 slides.
I love that. You should see that. Each one of the slides is tabbed in my book. It's crazy. But it was really helpful because it was no brainer. It was like right there, everything you needed to know. I loved it. It was very, very helpful for me, even though I was still stressed and crazy. But that's just personality. It had nothing to do with not knowing what to do. It's like, okay, when do I do this? So.
Well, and that Denise, that's going to be your first year is going to be your hardest, and unfortunately, you're going to have 2 first years. So.
I know. That's
because you don't know what to expect. That's the thing. You can be as prepared as you want, but unless you know what to expect, you really can't prepare for it. So until you go through it your first year, and then you feel a little bit more comfortable, you're just gonna have. It's just anxiety is part of the job. It just is, but that means they have the right person for the job. In all honesty,
that is true. That's why I stopped dyeing my hair. I was like, you know what, this is pointless. The stress is causing me to gray quicker. I'm like, forget about it. Let's just do the gray. I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to have so much fun in this role. And I really, really have. And my administrative team has been amazing, because
that's important. Yeah.
Really only given me this to do and not much else. So that's a blessing, because I do have colleagues that have countless responsibilities in the school on top of it.
Some have classes. Some have classes all day long. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either, but anyway, I appreciate you guys and everything that you've done to prepare us.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, Denise. You brought so much to this training. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Hope to see you.
Kathy, this was great. Love it. Okay. Loved it.
Good. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Take care.